He's down. Oh, and it's ugly. Dragons and Vikings. Enemies again, locked in combat to the bitter. Oh!
How to Train Your Dragon 2 flies away with more than $13 million at the box office.
Let's go, come on. This is so scary. You got it. Right. All right, you good? Yeah. All you got to do is walk now, okay? Okay.
And the bromance flick 22 Jump Street is number 2, taking in nearly $15.5 million.
After all we have done, humans are hunting us. But I fear we are all targets now.
And the Transformers Age of Extinction takes in a whopping $100 million movie dollars. Big numbers opening weekend. Jason Gorber is a film critic with twitchfilm.com. He joins us from Toronto. And Jason, Transformers fourth installment. Let's talk about this. What an amazing cast. Mark Wahlberg, Stanley Tucci, and of course Kelsey Grammer. What do you say about this?
So I'm kind of alone in most major critics. I love this movie. I love this movie.
You're not alone.
Okay,
I'm with you on this one too. So
if you saw, so here's the deal. Michael Bay, God bless Michael Bay. Michael Bay has made some incredibly terrible movies that blow stuff up really good. That's his shtick. And often, I mean, some of my most hated films of all time are things like Pearl Harbor, where he like has some cool little action sequences and then tries to do really terrible things like have people make love in parachute rooms and stuff. The Transformers movies I've also not particularly loved, especially the first one where they made Optimus Prime comic relief. I'm like, why are you making your heroic kingly character comic relief?
Yeah, but I thought the first one was the best out of the fourth installment.
The first one is the worst. I disagree because I think the first one is the worst because they took the most kingly character and made him foolish. The second one, which has incredibly racist robots, at least they're the comic relief. The third one, what do? They blew up Chicago. And the fourth one, Michael Bay just basically, he wasn't even going to do this. Steven Spielberg, the executive producer, brought him back in. It was like, okay, you just go crazy. So what he did, he just amps it up. The thing is 2 hours and 43 minutes long. God bless.
That's what you want over the summer.
It's got some great performers in it. Visually, it's incredible. You have to see this on the biggest screen you can. The 3D is great. And look, it is incredibly dumb, but it's done with such a lack of finesse, such abandon, just like letting it go to the wind.
And that's always been a criticism of Michael Bay, right? Very little storyline, big eye-popping action sequences, quick cuts, that sort of thing.
So he slowed it down. Once he went to 3D, the cutting is a lot less. And again, with the first one, it was just this smear of motion blur. Now he's slowed it down just enough so you actually get wide shots, so you can see the stuff coming and going. It's really tremendous. Look, most people who are serious critics actually don't particularly love this film. I think there's weird art elements of this thing.
Sure.
It is a completely silly popcorn movie, but because it's so unapologetically going for the id, because it's so blissfully adolescent, you just have to sit back and go, you go.
But that's what you want, right? You want to get into the theater, watch this movie, turn your brain off, and just pure escapism.
Absolutely.
Nobody's thinking about Shia LaBeouf right now, right?
Yeah, and God bless Mark Wahlberg. He just shows up and completely nails it. And I will say, there's people complaining about product placement in this. Like, there's a ton of like alcohol placement. There's Victoria's Secret and stuff like that. These were toys. They made a story about toys. This entire endeavor is product placement. So in a weird way, when they show some of the product placement from China, which this movie got a ton of money from China, and you don't know the product, it, in a weird way, makes you think about product placement.
Quick, I got to move on. Romantic comedy. They came together. Amy Poehler, Paul Rudd. Overexposure is not a good thing. I think we're seeing too much of Paul Rudd.
Oh man, I love Paul Rudd. I got no problem in doing it. They do a romantic. They came together. They do a romantic comedy about romantic comedies. It doesn't completely work, but a nice little Sundance film. It's playing on VOD and a few select theaters throughout Canada. It's really worth checking out.
We can't agree on anything tonight. What's going on?
As usual.
Maybe 3D will make this a better movie.
There you go.
All right. Film critic Jason Gorber with twitchfilm.com. Hey, follow him on Twitter at filmfest_CA. Jason, thanks a lot.
Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.